it's hard. But the way that I look at it is anything that I set my mind to, or anything that anybody else out there sets their mind to, if you're passionate about something, that has to drive you to continue even through the days where everything is perfect and you're getting everything you want, and through the seasons where nothing is going your way and it looks like nobody even remotely cares. But you know, that consistency and that passion to drive the consistency, I think, is really what helps to push people who start from point A and take them all the way to the end of the road and having longevity with their career.
And we're live. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm not in a drop top, but I am sitting here in my office. And I'm getting ready to start the Bliss Talk Quarantine Edition show tonight. We got Guitar Gabby, who's going to be joining us. She is a musician. She's the founder of a band. She's the manager of the band as well. She's also a lawyer. And she represents her and her band Pussy Power. It's an all-black female band. And so without further ado, let's bring her right on. What's up, Brooke the Crook? Gabby, you're right on time. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Why does it say you're unable to join, though? Try requesting for me. There we go. Oh, we're in there. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal.
There we go. I was like, you said, hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I'm so glad that we get to talk tonight. When I saw your name pop up on my schedule, I was like, yes.
Yay.
I sent him your information because I wanted to chop it up with you. I've been seeing you do so much. I'm so proud of you. I remember the time we met in Atlanta. Brilliant personality and radiance about you.
Thank you.
He says, Mama. But I was actually, before you got on, I was reading a quote that said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I mean, that last part sounds cliche, but it's so true. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Goes through all these roller coasters, mountains, whatever you want to call it. And you really got to push through sometimes.
Yeah.
So tonight, hopefully we're going to get a really good, inspiring conversation out of this talk. Because I want to talk about your origins. I want to know what a day in the life is with Guitar Gabby, all that good stuff. So let's get it started off right. So tell me a little bit more about your origins as a musician and starting your band.
So I'm from Atlanta, born and raised between Atlanta and Washington, D.C. My dad is from Atlanta. My mom is from D.C. My mom came down here to go to Spelman. They met, fell in love, got married, had me and my sisters, and then here we are. So yeah, I ended up following in my mom's footsteps. I went to Spelman, but prior to then, I was always been in music, but I never really figured out how I wanted to be involved with music until maybe like early teens in terms of picking an instrument. And then not until maybe middle of college is when I figured out, you know, this is how I think I want to pursue being in the industry. So, but my mom got me my first guitar when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And prior to that, I played the clarinet, the oboe, and the piano. And I loved all of those instruments. Clarinet probably is what I liked the most between those three. But then when I got a guitar, it was really, that's when everything kind of connected for me, because I was able to play what I was hearing in my head and what I was writing while I was able to sing, you know, what I was writing. You can't sing and play the oboe at the same time. So, so fast forwarding to college is when I got a call from Diamond's label. They wanted me to do a music video with her. And so I did that video. She needed an all-black female band. Saw it as a really good opportunity to, you know, continue doing something that I really loved. And so I worked with her management to bring together, it was 5 of us at the time, 5 all-black women musicians in Atlanta. And from there, I started managing the band because her label was awesome. But like I say all the time, people who are not musicians, a lot of times don't know how to manage musicians.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that they miss that are, you know, vital for us when we're touring. So I learned that early on, and that's when I started stepping into a role of management, and then started the Txlips Band about halfway through my journey playing with Diamond. And then so we existed as both the Txlips Band and also Girl Code when we were playing for Diamond, but it was the same members both sides. And then maybe within that same year, within the first year of starting the band in 2016, is when I created it as a collective to be more inclusive of other women who wanted to participate. And something that they also love doing. But a lot of times I think as women, especially Black women, we have to sacrifice a lot of the things that we love because we have to be full-time moms, full-time, you know, at work, full-time wives, full-time everything. It's a lot of work, plus carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. And, you know, always people call on Black women when they want to get things done.
Yeah, I was wondering because it said that you're the founder and the manager of this band. And so you have your whole career going on. You're also a lawyer too. So how do you find balance between all of that?
Some days I don't. Some days I don't, be honest. And I've gotten better over the years. When I first started off, I mean, there's a lot that has to be done when you're starting a business. And, you know, shows were coming in left and right. We had like our first maybe 2.5 years straight. We were in rehearsal and or a show every single night of the week except for Sundays. And so, I mean, it was a lot of work, but it paid off. But I mean, I don't know. I start my days, you know, with yoga and prayer and meditation. I eat right. I take care of my body. And I create a schedule, and, you know, what needs to get done that day, I buckle down, I get it done. I mean, I definitely, like most entrepreneurs out there, you know, you burn the midnight oil every night until you get to where you're trying to be. So I don't know. I think it's the passion that just drives me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're working so hard, and what do you think opportunities have, you know, like how it's paid off for you working so hard? What are some of the opportunities that you've been blessed with?
The first big one was touring with the Indigo Girls. That was a lot of fun, and it was a game changer. Definitely playing, we played Afropunk 3 times. Which was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Those kind of came out of nowhere too, but, those were a lot of fun. And then touring to London definitely has been one of the things that paid off, and partnering with different girls rock camps around the world. This year, I partnered with about almost 20 different girls rock camps in different cities around the world to virtually teach kids and perform for them and teach them about copyright basics and stuff like that. Being my first cover, Performer Magazine.
I saw that too.
Yeah. Actually, I need to send you one. Send me your address and I'll send you one. I'm actually pulling everything together. And so, yeah, that, and then Guitar World and endorsements. So, I mean, like, it's like I've been really blessed in a short period of time. But I think that it definitely has to do with, you know, when God puts something on your heart and God gives you, you know, something that's for you. What's for you is for you. Grind, you know, work, get it done, take care of yourself. But, you know, things could definitely come to fruition. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have been a true visionary from start to finish of your career. And what do you think is the concept or key that led you to these opportunities, these wonderful opportunities that you've been getting?
I would say consistency and patience, which is very difficult. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some days I struggle with patience because I'm like, you know, I've been doing this for so many years. When is Beyonce going to call me? But, I'm not going to go on my Beyonce tangent, but I'm going to pull over real quick. Beyonce, I was watching Coachella for the 99,000th time in a day. And there was one part on there where she said that she respects things that are built from the ground up. And that really said a lot to me because I know, and, you know, there are so many other people out there that know doing anything, but especially building a business as a Black woman in the industry that is not necessarily created to benefit us like everybody else is very difficult because you go to every door that you're trying to get into. It's like, no, I'm good. You know, the door is shut on your face. So you have to continuously try to figure out ways to go around. And a lot of people don't make it. A lot of people give up, you know, after a couple of years of pursuing. I mean, it's hard, but the way that I look at it is anything that I set my mind to, or anything that anybody else out there sets their mind to. If you're passionate about something, that has to drive you to continue, even through the days where everything is perfect and you're getting everything you want, and through the seasons where nothing is going your way and it looks like nobody even remotely cares. But, you know, that consistency and that passion to drive the consistency, I think, is really what helps to push people who start from point A and take them all the way to the end of the road and having longevity with their career. So it's, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of when you think about your journey from start to finish. There's been so many things that I've been blessed with, meeting different people, like little things that I picked up on the way on this journey. And then it makes me think about The Alchemist. I'm sure you read that book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know how he was going there to get some gold, but he done picked up a girlfriend. He done got
right. Picking up everything along the way.
Picking up all of that along the way, and he gets there, and he's just like, you know, where's the gold? Like, right. And he was like, "Why? You knew it was here the entire time. Why didn't you tell me?" And it's because he wanted him to respect that journey. You know,
right.
So that's a great way of looking at it. Yeah. What's the next thing? Oh, day in the life. Day in the life from.
Oh, Jesus. Today's actually a great day because things have been just absolutely crazy in a good and bad way. But I woke up, you know, and typically my days consist of, you know, I wake up, my cat is a pain in my ass, but I love her so much. Gracie is probably more popular than me at this point. I actually signed
T'Challa. That could be his little boo thing, you know, if we ever got together.
Right. I don't know. Gracie might not. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just her. She does not like people. She doesn't like affection. She doesn't like things. She doesn't like anything unless she approves it and she's ready to do it on her schedule. Outside of that, I don't know what you're doing over here. So
is like he literally his house.
Right. And like, you pay no bills, you contribute nothing. So how are you in charge of it? You have no thumbs. Like, what do you do to contribute?
Right. I think that's so cute that you have an Instagram for her and everything. I'm like, follow it. It's so funny, the caption. I love it.
She is so much. I love her. But I've been signing all the magazines from Guitar Gabby and Guitar Gracie. So I'm sure people find that funny, but yeah, my days typically start with me waking up, cleaning up whatever she has, you know, messed up in the middle of the night, and then do yoga. I typically eat breakfast, but honestly, after I finish yoga and meditation, that's typically when my phone starts going off from like emails, Instagram for all the pages, and, you know, text messages. And I have two phones. So I have a trap phone, which is my business phone, and then I have my personal phone, and both of those are going off. So typically doing, you know, answering all those things as much as I can while I'm making breakfast and coffee and all that kind of stuff. And I typically come into my studio in my office where I'm at now, and I'm on the computer, honestly, like until almost 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every night, just doing emails. And, you know, it's a business plan, really, like reaching out for people. And, you know, I'm my own PR person, and that's a whole nother job. And then, you know, I have 2 executive aides that work with me in different facets. So, you know, managing people is another job. So, and then my legal clients, I actually have a Zoom call with one of my clients after this, and contracts. So it's a lot.
A lot. It sounds like a lot of, you know, emailing, paperwork type of things, and then also scheduling stuff and making and organizing, because that was actually the next thing I was going to talk about with you, because you're a manager, and when you say management, that means someone who's in charge of implementing things and making sure everything is organized.
Right.
And so, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think that from the beginning of your journey to now that you've picked up little tools or ways to keep yourself organized that you would like to share?
Sorry. I've always been extremely organized, very type A. I love agenda planners and notebooks and things like that. My desk actually looks a train wreck right now, but it's organized. But I definitely learned, like, especially like when the collective aspect started to actually kick in, and I started contracting more women to be a part of the collective. That's when I was like, okay, my organization systems that I've had before worked up to a certain point. So now I got to add on, remove certain things, or create something completely different that's going to work. So I have a drive actually. And this is one thing that I definitely learned along the way. And this honestly is really what keeps my sanity. I actually will show a little part of it. So this is I call it the mother load. And if you're a musician, then actually 2019 would be better. But so yeah, everybody can go in here. And this is the organization system I built. Everything's color coded to certain things, but you can go in to each folder and like, find your itinerary, the logistics, photos, and all that kind of stuff. So that, in addition to just like learning how to file all of my paperwork and keep things very, in different notebooks, all that kind of stuff, definitely had to redo a lot of what I was used to along the way. But yeah, it's always evolving.
That's what's up. I have to, like, I'm doing a million things at my job as well, and I have like a couple of notebooks. I have my email even like organized to like certain subjects. I'll just drop it in there, because when you're looking for something, you need to get to it.
Right, I need it now. I don't have time to sit here looking for it all over the place. Like, I need it now.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes sense with staying organized, keeping, the notebooks, the planners, and all that good stuff. I want to talk to you about leadership, because I'm sure like when you're talking to like your friend, it might be different than when you're talking to people that you're working with or that you need to delegate tasks to. So what does that look like for you being a leader? Guitar Gabby as a leader.
I would say one of the things I really, really had to learn to do better at over the years is giving, like, you can be fair with people, but you also have to be like the same with everybody in terms of like, as a business person, people who are your friends, especially when I've had friends that were in the band, people think, oh, that's my homegirls here, I get special treatment. But it's like, no, that's not how businesses succeed. And that difficult sometimes to learn how to be a leader in running a business and, telling people no when your heart and your emotions want to say yes, but it's either that or the whole ship sinks. So I would definitely say part of leadership that I've learned is, one, learning how to take charge and just getting things. I like when things get done. I don't like sitting here and we're all talking about what we're going to do over there and pass it back over. I'm not doing all that. Mm-hmm. I need to know what we're going to do. If y'all can't figure out what we're going to do, then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We can adjust it along the way and I'll receive input, but like, we need to go. Yeah. But and then the second part of that is just learning how to, keep people in your inner circle and then other people in outer circles, and just learning how to navigate through that. So.
Absolutely. And then building a rapport with people that are actually working directly with you, like from the business standpoint. So they'll know how you operate if you are consistent and that you're operating things.
Definitely.
It's also very important. You got an award from Mark Ruffalo. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Environmental stewardship. Mm-hmm. And communities of color. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was like, look at my book.
Yes.
You better go ahead.
Thank you.
Green dress. Like, what was that like? Did you know you were even getting an award like that? And
it's funny. They had, so the job, at the time I was working for an environmental nonprofit. It was an all Black nonprofit. And I had been doing a lot of work specifically in communities of color, working with kids for quite some time at that point. But it's funny because the organization that Mark Ruffalo was working with is called the Captain Planet Foundation. So when I got the award I don't remember what year it was, but a couple of recent years ago, I think it was that was 2000, that had to have been 18, I think, 2017 or 18. But when that happened, I had just finished working for the Captain Planet Foundation a couple of years prior to that as an intern. So it was funny how it all kind of came full circle, but I didn't know that I was going to have to go on stage and do any type of like acceptance speech until that moment. When I got there, they were like, hey, Marcus in the back, we're actually going to talk about the whole acceptance process. You have some words together. I was like, yeah, sure. How many words? They didn't tell you? Yeah, I got it. I literally came up with all of that as I was on stage talking. I was so nervous. But it was cool, though. That was like a really cool experience. I was nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so proud when I saw you up there, and I actually recognized that actor. I was like, wait a minute, ain't that such and such that was on? Yes, but I mean, it has to be honored to be recognized for something that's, that you don't do to get an award for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
really, really special to do. So what are some of the things that you're working on in the community right now or in the past?
I've always in the past, and I still am doing a lot of this, but definitely education as it relates to environmental justice and environmental racism and how that negatively impacts communities of color. A lot of my research in law school and in my undergrad had to do with laws and how the laws affect people, specifically in low-income communities of color. I did a lot of research in my undergrad on Proctor Creek, which is a really very filthy creek in the west end, southwest of Atlanta, which is for years been predominantly Black. And, for many years, there's a lot of industrial complexes and big manufacturing companies in that area. And they would just dump all of their stuff into the creek that was directly going into these Black communities. And that's where people were getting their water from. So there was a lot of research that went along with that over the years about, like, from the EPA, and just how it was a train wreck. But I do a lot of work making sure that I can help people understand the laws in layman's terms. I always say that I want to be the middle person between the communities and the government, and that's in the environmental sector and in the music sector, which is why I went into combining environmental law and music law and, creating my own path to help people, understand what's, positively and negatively impacting them and what they can do to change that. Because people, I think there's knowledge and power. People don't know that they can be a part of changing laws because nobody really takes the time to teach that in school, like for real, unless you're on a law track. So,
that is amazing, Gabby. That is so amazing. I don't know. Do you know Ebony K. Williams? She's
I think so. I've heard.
Yeah,
not personally, but yes.
I mean, she was the first person that I actually saw, a woman of color, talking about these issues as far as the law and how it's written and how it affects our community. And I was like, we need more like that. And it's so dope that you're already on that path. We need you. We really need you.
Yes.
I mean, we got to stay educated so we can, be a part of the conversation as well. So
facts.
That's amazing. So amazing.
Thank you.
Quincy Jones. Was he there?
No, I wish he wasn't there, but I was so honored to even speak on anything that has to do with this. That man he has done so much for the Black community. That was an honor, honestly, to just be able to speak about anything that has to do with Quincy. So that was really exciting. Huh?
I say you did it so eloquently.
Oh, thank you. I was so nervous too. I was shaking.
I'm going to repost it. I'm going to find it back. I'm going to go back on your page and post it on my page because you did a really good job with talking about that. And you said Quincy was actually somebody that inspired you to start playing, correct?
Yeah.
And what about him made you what was it for you? I got to get on this guitar. I got to learn.
Honestly, for me, it was the persistence that he had and still has through the music industry. I've watched the documentary on him on Netflix no less than 5,000 times because and even learning about Sister Rosetta Thorpe, I hold both of them in a similar regard in terms of how much respect I have for them fighting through the BS in the middle of a racist ass United States of America when they were young and first starting out. It still is, extremely racist in America, but during the time that they came out, especially being Black people, and then Sister Rosetta Thorpe being a Black woman, and just to persevere while people are throwing darts at you, and sometimes physical objects, with the state of civil rights in America. I mean, and then to still pursue and come out on top, that's being a boss. If that's not being a boss, I don't know what is. So Quincy just really inspired me by the way that he maneuvered and navigated through the industry, and then also just being in a whole different country. That was one of the reasons that I decided, you know what, I need to take this band and this business out of the country if I want anything to come of it within a certain amount of years. And that's what I saw Quincy doing, went out of the country and just continued to boss up. And then once he got, all of the accolades and all of the things under his belt there, brought it back to America. And then it's boom.
Yeah.
So he's just a huge inspiration for me.
Yes. One of the things that I admire about Quincy is that he can find these characters or personalities or people and just know exactly where this person goes or where they fit. Talk about he's painting, but with people.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it.
I always admired that because, I mean, it takes a genius to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a part of so many of these people that we love, like part of their careers and their journey as well. So, that's really dope.
Powerful guy. Mm-hmm.
Yes. My last thing that I always love to talk about is some keys and concept, but I think that we went over consistency with you. And was there any other key or concept that you wanted to talk about on Bliss Talk?
I would say building a team of people that you can trust with your life. And when I say that, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's not that serious. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is, because like your business is your baby. You know, I don't physically have children. I have my cat and then I have my business, but I'm very protective about both because, you know, you let the wrong people into your circle, or, you know, people who you think are friends that don't necessarily have the best intentions for you, or even friends who don't understand what you're doing and try to do everything to interrupt that or stop it. Like, all of those things are naturally going to come into anybody's life, especially when you're starting something that's good or starting something for a community. And like when you're doing that work and good things start to happen, that's typically when people and things in life tend to throw more at you to try to interrupt what God has you doing and what path God has you on. So one thing I've learned fast is you got to be selective about who is in your inner circle, which is why a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, you'll hear them say that, you know, it's a lonely journey, because really, like someone just commented, you got to be your number one fan. And that's the truth.
Advocate too, as well.
Yeah, you do, because nobody's going to believe in what you're doing as much as you. And you need that. Right, exactly. They don't understand your vision. And, you know, you need people in your circle and on your team that, one, know what they're doing, but two, are, you know, really going to support what you're doing and not try to interrupt that because of how they feel or how they don't feel or what they understand or don't understand. So I definitely think that that's very important. And unfortunately, I've lost a lot of friends along the way, but, you know, I'm also an optimistic person. And, you know, I think that when you can acknowledge those things and those people in your life that maybe shouldn't be there right then and there, and you're able to take a step back and be the bigger person and say, look, I love you. We got to separate for a bit. Let's come back to our relationship later, maybe take a break from each other, whatever it is. You know, it hurts, but, you know, I think that there's growth in that for everybody involved. And it's a hard decision, but, you know, as a leader and as a boss and as an entrepreneur, you got to be willing to sacrifice some things to get, you know, what you want in the end for everybody.
Yeah, and it's sometimes not even about cutting people off, because sometimes it happens naturally. We just naturally grow apart. You know, I feel like I don't have anything to talk about. Why you ain't calling me? And
because what do we want to talk about?
I don't really know. I had nothing to say. You know,
right?
Really happened. I have friends like that too. I love them to death and I miss them, but I know that if I pick up the phone, like, I wouldn't really have nothing to say, you know?
Right.
So we have just a couple of more minutes, and so I have like a silly question to ask you.
Okay.
You've been given an elephant. You can't give it back. You can't give it away, and you can't sell it. What are you going to do with it? What would you do with that elephant?
Like an actual elephant?
Yeah.
I can't give it away. I can't sell it. And I can't, what else?
And you can't give it back.
I guess I'm going to have to, sorry, my phone is like, I'm about to die. I guess I have to build a big ass barn in the backyard and just kick it with the elephant. Maybe put an office back there, and, you know, prosperity is surely around the corner. So I don't know, but I think that would be kind of fun though. I would like to have an elephant.
I thought about that question
if it was legal.
I don't even know what other creative way to answer that question either. Like, what would I do with this elephant? I mean, it's 3,000 pound animal.
Right. They eat a lot of food. You require a lot of maintenance. You need a lot of space. I guess I might have to just buy a ranch.
There you go. There you go. Well, that was it for Bliss Talk tonight. If anybody's still listening, I want to thank you for listening to me. You guys can follow me at cbliss_pics. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bliss Talk Show, and visit our website, blisstalkshow.life. We had Miss Guitar Gabby on the show, and if you guys would like to ask her a question before she gets out of here, just type it in there. And while you guys are typing, Guitar Gabby, how can we support you, babe?
I would say share and stream. As an independent artist, streaming and purchasing merch is very, 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 very important to us. So, definitely stream. Follow me on all my social medias at Guitar Gabby at the Txlips Band, or you can visit our website, which is txlips.com, and you can scoop all the merch. There's a link in my bio. It'll connect you to everything, but definitely streaming, buying merch, and I'm giving away free copies of my first and not last magazine cover with a full spread inside of it. So all I'm asking is that somebody, or if you all are interested in getting one, you just share one of my recent guitar videos or photos with my green guitar in it, tag me, and then DM me your information, and I'm going to be sending out, I have a stack of them to send out tomorrow. So yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on everything. Keep grinding.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And send me your address when you get off, and I'll mail you one out tomorrow.
Absolutely. Can't
Thanks
wait
for having me. Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.